It was just 4 days ago that these soldiers, sailors and airmen were told that they'd been chosen to receive an operational honour. For many of them here, it still hasn't sunk in yet. They're not used to being in the limelight, but now everybody wants to hear their stories. Here today, there's only a small number of the 117 military personnel who are receiving operational honours. 20 are going to the Royal Navy and Royal Marines, 84 to the Army and 13 to the Royal Navy. Many of those recognised served with one mechanised brigade in Afghanistan, like Lance Corporal Simon Maloney. He receives one of the highest military honours, the Conspicuous Gallantry Cross, after continuing to fight during an ambush in Helmand, even after he'd been shot through the neck. It missed his vital arteries and voice box by only millimetres.
It was like being punched in the throat and I was instantly winded, like quite a painful winding. Other than that though, the adrenaline was pumping. It was more just like, right, what's going on? Am I going to die? What's it hit? What's the damage sort of thing? Because, well, yeah, you can't really prepare for being shot. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
It was his best friend and comrade who came to give him medical assistance. He ran 400 metres of open ground, weighed down by 60 kilograms and in full sight of 2 insurgent positions. He's been honoured with the Military Cross.
Once his medical attention was that good, I didn't have to worry. I just carried on as normal.
I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I just thought, you've been shot, you're alive. And all he wanted to do was get back in. So once I'd finished doing what I did, I didn't make a big deal and say, no, you're sitting there. I said, if you want to go back in, you just do what you want.
Yeah. I own one now, but you're like brothers, aren't you? Yeah, and he saved my life. Not many friends can say that.
Another medic has also been recognised and receives the Queen's Commendation for Bravery. Lance Corporal Sinead Dodds was on a clearance patrol in Helmand when the Mastiff she was travelling in was hit by a vehicle-borne IED. Despite losing her hearing, being injured and left in darkness, she continued to treat the wounded.
It was so disorientating, especially because we'd been turned around and spun around. I didn't know which way was front, which way was the back, and I think I just ran off adrenaline. And then the way that medics are trained, it's drilled into you, so you know it just flows really. Your training kicks in and you just get on with it.
Still in Afghanistan, Flight Lieutenant Charles Lockyer receives the Distinguished Flying Cross for making quick and courageous decisions whilst his Chinook was under fire. His number 2 crewman, Master Aircrew Robert Sunderland, is mentioned in dispatches for his courage throughout. Although he was injured, he remained calm in order to assist the captain to safely manoeuvre the Chinook to rescue soldiers on the ground.
We were about 10 feet off the ground and trying to land, and I felt 2 rounds impact the side of the aircraft near my head, and then I felt something impact me, which knocked me to the ground. And it was a very, very unusual moment for me.
It all happens very, very quickly. We had about 5 seconds to actually make a decision about what was going on, and that's how quickly it took for us to realise actually it wasn't a viable landing due to the amount of fire that was coming in. So that's, we made that decision very quickly. And then we also made another very quick decision about going back in to get those guys out.
But not all honours are from acts of bravery whilst on Op Herrick. Chief Petty Officer Neil Horsey receives the Queen's Commendation for Bravery for his actions whilst on duty on HMS Lancaster. He received a mayday call from a civilian ship in trouble and led a team to the vessel carrying out actions that saved it from sinking.
So we went into the engine room. It took some doing to find our way around, so it was very dark. The water was up to our armpits. There's an oil layer across the top of the water and the exhaust fumes from the diesel pumps that were running, which was pumping the water out of the vessel. And we found our way around and found the hole inside of the ship.
There are many humble recipients here, all of them saying that they were just doing their job. But it's a bonus to be recognised, especially as a trip to Buckingham Palace beckons when they receive their honours for real. Laura Hawkins, Forces News, London.